Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Lisa, and in this video we're going to talk through how I've completed this Meerkat with colour pencils. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe, and if you feel like you'd like to give this one a go, you can check out my Patreon where this is a full real-time tutorial. You get given the reference photo, line art, material list and video step-by-step instructions of how to complete this one all by yourself. So let's get started drawing the Meerkat. So every month on Patreon we have a vote to see what we want to vote next, and this Meerkat was voted for. So if you'd like to be a part of that, join up as a free member and you can vote every month. So the first thing we do is just go in with a really sharp black pencil and put the outline and map in where you can see the darker areas. I then go in with some of the white pencil just to put down the highlight section to make sure that it stays nice and bright. And then we can start to go in and put in our base layers. So going in with some of the burnt ochre, sky blue, and then just starting to get darker with the black. So the main thing you want to do is just make sure that you're going in with really light layers to start with, so you can build up the tones and get the colors that you want. For this piece, I'm using a lot of the burnt ochre, which is the orange color, and then if you go in with some of the violet or a purple color, these sort of cancel each other out and help you create darker gray tones without using black, and also works really well with the brown. So I do go in with quite a lot of purple for this piece, even though when you look at it as a whole you can't really see purple in it, but it just really helps with the shadows. And then when we're going in with the fur, we need to make sure that we're erasing all of the graphite around the top, because you will be able to see it underneath the pencil. I then go in with a base layer of the cold grey 1, ivory, and then start to build up the cold grey 3. In the tutorial we do go into more depth about the fur strokes and how we put these down, how we layer them, how we use our pencils. So if you're interested in trying this tutorial, it is really helpful for fur technique and fur texture, because fur is very difficult when it comes to animals. Making sure that you're putting it in the direction that the fur is going and you're mimicking the size of the fur as well. And then it's just a matter of going in with your light layers and building from light to dark. So going with some of the cold grey. At the bottom I'm also adding in some of the ivory, because there is more of a sort of yellowy tone to the fur. And then starting to build in all of the colours we can see. So you can see some yellows, so use the dark Naples ochre, start to go in with some of the burnt ochre, and then start to build in some of the black and walnut brown. When it comes to little features like this, it's also really important to make sure you have really sharp points on your pencil. I really recommend to use sort of a sandpaper sharpener that you can just rub your pencil on, which helps keep a really sharp point on your pencil. That means you don't need to sharpen it as much, which means your pencils last a lot longer and you can get in all of those really little details throughout the piece. And then when you're moving on to the body, we just start to do sections at a time. So you just sort of pick a section and then start to work light to dark. For this sort of thing as well, I do like to go in and map where you can see all the darker areas. So I've mapped in some of these darker sections, go through, put in a base layer, and then you just start to work in those darker points with the burnt ochre, walnut brown, the black, and then start to build up the tones around it. Then just moving on to another section so that you can sort of link them all together. So if you just go through and shade over the whole thing and then you need to start to add all the little details, it can get frustrating, because this sort of thing does take a long time. This tutorial takes about 6 hours, so it does take a long time to get this sort of texture completed. So adding one little section at a time really helps. One of the hardest sections I think through this whole thing was probably where the fur gets longer, and it's that salt and pepper, brown, black and white sort of fur. So working on a big chunk of this at once, I started out with the base of the cold grey 1 and then start to add in some of the darker sections that you can see with the walnut brown. And then when they're sort of mapped out, you can go in and put some of the colours in. So here there's a little bit of the yellow and then some of the pink, so I use some of the beige red. And then it's just a matter of building up and getting darker with the walnut brown and the black, putting in those fur strokes that we spoke about before, making sure to have a really sharp point on your pencil. And then you can also go over at the end and put through some white. This will just help the highlights, give it a little bit more depth. But if you feel like you need any more information on this sort of thing, this is a full real-time tutorial on my Patreon, so you hop on over to there and you can check this one out. But I hope that you like this video, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.